Hi, I'm going to quickly go over how a user might use WalkMap to navigate to a location just by figuring out where they want to walk based on user reviews. So let's say I'm over here in the central campus and I want to figure out how to get to the stadium down here. Another place, if I don't even know where that is, I could look up using our search bar here, Michigan Stadium. And it'll come up with a couple options. I can click on the top one and it'll point me right to the Michigan Stadium so I know where I'm trying to go, where my final point is. And then I can think about a couple different routes I can get there. Maybe I want to head down South State Street. If I look here, turns out sidewalk's actually closed. Bunch of reviews saying the sidewalk is closed, so I actually don't want to go this way. So I'll maybe choose a different route. Maybe I want to come up this way and head down South Main Street. So then we come on, look at this, and we see that it's open, but it's actually kind of hilly. So maybe I want to avoid that and come down a bit further south first before heading over. And so I'll look over here at Hill Street. And then here I can see that there's some pretty solid reviews for how this area works and what the walkways are like here. So then that's probably the route I'm going to take. So I can head down through South Campus along Hill Street to Stadium Street.
So an important feature that we decided to include was having an account so you could manage your reviews, see reviews left by other people. And this, of course, necessitates having a login page with working authentication. So clicking on the login button, you can log in with your username and password, and the password must match, obviously, and any incorrect passwords will not allow a user forward to the account page. So if I just type in an incorrect password, for instance, I will get a forbidden page, and so I will have to go back and retry logging in. And so once that goes through and it matches, I'm brought to my user account page. And so there are a number of things I can see here. The first, of course, is all the reviews that I have left, which I can see by scrolling down. And this will be all the review information that I've left in full. I can also delete any of them from here if I wanted to. And then the user can also log out of their account from this page and do some other account management, like editing their account and deleting their account. So if I go to edit my account, for instance, a number of different fields will be brought up that I can change. So I can upload a new profile picture. I can edit my first and last name, my username, my email address, and I can also set a new password. And making any of these changes will require me to re-enter my current password. So for instance, if I wanted to edit my username to test_user2, I would enter that in that field, re-enter my password, submit, and as you can see, my username now changes. So from the user account page, under the edit profile button, I can also log out from here. And this will just take me back to the main page. And so if I'm not an existing user, I would go back to the sign in page and click the create an account link instead of logging in. And this will bring up a form with several fields to fill out. The first is you can choose a profile picture. So clicking on that, it'll just bring up File Explorer for you to pick a file from. And then you have your first name, your last name, username, email, and password. So if I just start filling those out with some basic information like so, and then if I leave a field empty, it will not let me submit and not let the account creation go through. It's going to want you to have all these fields filled in. And additionally, if I choose a username that is already in use, like test user, I will get an error for that, and it won't let the account go through as well. And so I'll have to go back, choose a new username, new user, for instance, and then just put a password for that. And now, as you can see, it has created my account and I'm logged in. My new username shows up in the top right instead of a sign-in link. And now I am ready to add reviews. So I can go to any of the locations on the map in red. And first off, at the very top, it will show what the name of that place is. So Central Campus, for instance. And then right below that, you'll see the overall score for this area. And then the overall scores for other metrics, which is the sidewalk quality, slope, distance from the road. Right below that, you'll see the other reviews left by other users. You won't see their like integer scores for each of the fields from here, but you will see their comments. And so at the bottom, you can leave your own review. So you can select a quality from 1 to 5, a slope from 1 to 5, a distance from the road from 1 to 5, then also add in some additional commentary if you'd like, and then submit right from here. And as you can see at the top, the aggregate scores update accordingly. And then I can also delete a review as well, and this will automatically get rid of it. And so my review is gone, and all of the aggregate scores at the top have also adjusted. And so then if I wanted to delete my account, I would go back to the user account creation page. You can see I have my reviews at the bottom there. And then to delete my account, I would have to re-enter my password. If you try to do it without re-entering the password, it won't let you accidentally do that. So I would re-enter my existing password and then click delete my account. And this will just take me right back to the sign-in page. And so if I just sign in with an existing user, or actually if I try to sign in with my account that I deleted, you can see that it is gone and that the account and all of its reviews will also be deleted. So if I sign back in with an existing account just to validate that, then go back to one of the locations I left a review for previously, you can see that there was nothing from new user. That second review I added before the first one is now gone. And so that's how all of our user account functionality works in conjunction with the map.
These are the technical details of our MDE web app. We needed the front page to be dynamic, so for this reason, we chose to use the JavaScript library React to implement it. And on the front page, we have our map, which is loaded using the open source React component called Leaflet. This React page then interacts with the SQL database through a custom RESTful API designed using Flask to insert, pull, update, and delete data. The database is SQLite, which we ran locally for demo purposes. And to protect the data in our database, we have several security measures in place, such as verifying that a user is logged in before allowing any changes, and using parameterized SQL statements to prevent SQL injection. The remaining pages were made using Flask with HTML templates. These interact directly with the database, but the security measures I mentioned earlier are still in effect here to ensure the security of the website and its users.
I'm going to talk about some challenges we faced while working on our MDE. So one of the most prominent ones is that we had to do a lot of learning. That includes learning a new framework, Flask, learning how to make database and SQL queries, using open source React components, and critically, learning how to read documentation on those kinds of components, documentation created by other people, and how to actually make use of those components in our project. Some of us had some experience with some of these things going in, but it wasn't evenly spread, so there had to be some time spent catching up and gaining basic familiarity with some of these things. We also had some trouble with time management. First off, just in general, but we also got into the habit of cutting things close to deadlines. We had some trouble with getting certain things done by certain dates in particular. But the whole time we were trying to mitigate this by checking in regularly and making sure everyone was on the same page and not falling behind, and offering to help each other out with assigned tasks if it was necessary. Unfortunately, due to the previous time management issues, we did have to cut some features of our project that were planned, just so that it would be functional by the end of the semester. Specifically, those are editing reviews and adding new locations to review. One last challenge we had were some hard-to-resolve bugs that we encountered. We did eventually resolve them using unit and system testing, but they did cause some trouble along the way. Overall, this project was a very valuable learning experience.